Hi guys, my name is Ellie Steadman and I'm here today to bring you part 2 of the October The Disney Scoop. I'm going to jump straight into answering some of your questions today, and of course there is a lucky goodie bag winner which will be announced at the end. From all of your comments I randomly selected a winner and I'm very excited to announce it in this video. The first question comes from Louise Brett and she said, my question is, if money was no object, which Disney World hotel would you choose to stay in and why? If money was truly no option, I'd love to stay in the Grand Floridian. It's the closest resort kind of to the Magic Kingdom on the monorail and it's beautiful, but I'd also love to stay in the Polynesian because I think that's got more of a laid back vibe, whereas the Grand Floridian is slightly more, I don't know if posh is the right word, but has that feel to it, whereas the Polynesian is a bit more chilled and relaxed vibe. I'd actually love to stay in the bungalows that they have at the Polynesian. They have some bungalows right out on the water and they look absolutely stunning, so I would love to stay there. But I would also absolutely love to stay in Port Orleans Riverside in one of their royal rooms, which are princess themed rooms. I don't think I'd ever leave those rooms if I stayed in one of those. Rebecca Inez said, my Disney question is how many days would be ideal for a Florida holiday? I want to go, but I don't think I'd fit everything in 7 days. I've been to Orlando twice. The first time I was there for about 7 full days and a half day either side of it, and last year I was lucky enough to go for 2 weeks. Personally, I wouldn't go to Orlando for less than 2 weeks now because it's a very long way to fly and obviously it does take quite a bit out of you with the travelling and the time differences. So I would say if you can go for 2 weeks as a minimum, please do. 10 days you can still get a lot done, but it does depend on what you want to do. If you want to stick to just Disney, then you can probably get most of it done in 10 days, but if you want to explore other areas you might want a bit more time. I personally, like I said, would just stick with 2 weeks as a minimum, but 3 weeks if you can, even better, because then you can really do it at a good pace and kind of have more chill time. But for me, 2 weeks would be a minimum. Chloe Brown said, my question is, what was the best character dining restaurant you went to in Walt Disney World in October last year? I did Crystal Palace, which is the Winnie the Pooh and Friends one in the Magic Kingdom, Cinderella's Royal Table, which is inside Cinderella's castle in Magic Kingdom, and I did Chef Mickey's, which is in the Contemporary Resort. But out of those, I think I would definitely do Crystal Palace again because I liked the breakfast buffet, the Winnie the Pooh characters are great fun, and I would actually like to try doing the princess dining in Akershus, I think is how you say it, in Norway in Epcot. I think you have to be inside the castle at least once, but if I did go back I'd like to do the princess dining that is in Epcot, and I'd also like to do some of the other character dining for Mickey and Friends. I'd really like to visit Garden Grill. So of the 3 that I did, I think the one I would be most likely to do again would be Crystal Palace, but Cinderella's Royal Table might be my favourite just because it was in the castle and that's very magical. Tamez Andrea said, my question is, what is the best score that you've ever had on Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters? Now in Disneyland Paris I find this game really hard. It's really quite difficult in Paris. I'm not very good at it, and I think if I'm lucky I can kind of get about 300,000, but that's if I'm lucky. In Orlando last year in October I somehow managed to become a galactic hero and get 999,999, which is the top score, and I was very proud of myself. It did take a few goes, but the Orlando one is easier when you kind of know what you need to look for. If you know what targets you need to hit, then it is possible to do it in Orlando. I'm sure it's probably possible in Paris, but for me personally Orlando's much easier. Amy John said, I'd love to know if there's any news about Elena of Avalor or Moana coming to the parks. Now at the moment I know that Elena of Avalor is actually going to be meeting in Magic Kingdom. She's going to be meeting in the Princess Meet and Greet in the Magic Kingdom, which is very exciting, so she is heading there. And I also know that in Disneyland Paris Moana will be meeting over the Christmas season in the Walt Disney Studios park. Dee said, what is your favourite ride in both parks at Disneyland Paris? My favourite ride in the Walt Disney Studios park is Ratatouille. It's fantastic, it's so clever, the technology is amazing, and I just love it. It's so good. I just find it so impressive. It's just the sort of thing that even if you don't like the film, you will love the ride because it's so clever. And in the Disneyland Paris park, my favourite ride is Big Thunder Mountain, although it's been closed for about a year now, and I'm very excited for it to reopen, and I think it's going to be even better than it was before. Pink Elephant Spots said, if you could only eat at one place in Disneyland Paris, where would it be? The first one that came into my head has to be another if money was no option kind of thing, because it would probably be Inventions, which is the character dining buffet which takes place in the Disneyland Hotel. On Sundays in Inventions they actually have brunches, which are then different themes, which is really exciting, which I was lucky enough to do recently this year. So then you'll have different characters there in different outfits, and it's a really cool experience. I think the food is also slightly different as well, but the rest of the time it's still character dining with your Mickey, Stitch, Pinocchio, that kind of classic characters in their traditional outfits, and the food is slightly different, but it's still amazing. Our last question is the one that was randomly selected as the winner, and it comes from Anna Laycock. So please make sure you leave your contact information, your email address, so we can get in touch with you to arrange your prize. And the question is, what is your favourite season to visit Disneyland Paris? Spring, summer, autumn or winter? I've been really lucky enough to visit Disneyland Paris in every season, and it's so hard. I get asked this question a lot, which one is your favourite? Each season is so different and it brings a complete different feel to the park and a different atmosphere, and I do love love them all for different reasons, but I think my favourite is spring. Spring just seems to really work in Disneyland Paris. It's such a beautiful park. It's probably the most beautiful park in my opinion of all the Disney parks, and the flowers, the topiaries, the decorations, it just fits with the theme. The spring entertainment as well is amazing. When I was there this year, you had Forest of Enchantment, which was an incredible show, which I can't wait to hopefully see again there one day. That really was amazing and something I saw every day that I was there. You also have Minnie's Spring Train, which is so much fun and possibly has the catchiest parade song ever. Then you have Goofy's Garden Party, so there's always something going on in spring in Disneyland Paris. I mean, there's always something going on throughout almost every season, but I just loved spring. I really, really did. It's such a beautiful time of year to go. The weather's normally okay and quite bright and sunny and wonderful, but I just love Christmas and Halloween so much as well. Summer's probably my least favourite in terms of theming because it's not that different, but it's also a fantastic time of year to go because the weather is normally great and the park is open for 12 hours at a time. But I think if we're just talking about like the theming and the season, it's probably spring. Thank you so much for watching the October Q&A for the Disney Scoop series. I really hope you've enjoyed it and that I answered your question well. If I did answer your question, I'm sorry I couldn't answer all of them. There's quite a few, but hopefully I can do it next time for you. And a big congratulations to Anna on winning the amazing goodie bag. Make sure you click the thumbs up button and give this video a big like, and that you subscribe to the Attraction Tips Direct channel so you never miss a video. Once again, thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon. Bye!